Almost every office job requires working with data, yet most of us are never actually taught how to analyze it properly. So in this video, I'll show you a simple 6-step framework to go from raw data to real insights using AI to do the heavy lifting. So step 1 starts before we actually touch the data. Here we need to establish 3 main things. Firstly, our role, so what are we doing, what is our title? Secondly, our audience, so who is this targeted for? And finally, the questions or what we want to find out, and we'll call all of this defining the goal. So suppose we're data analysts at a World Cup working for a broadcaster, and we need to turn the match data into talking points. So here's the 2 main data sets we're working with. First, this one on the group stage matches, their scores, the population, how many cards, how many fouls, how many offsides, etc. So we've got all of that data. And then over here, we've got all of the different countries and their rankings. So their FIFA ranking here, which is the regulatory body for football or soccer, the population, and then the region that they're working under. We're going to be sharing these insights with the on-air talent, like the commentators or the pundits, so they can have some interesting insights for the audience watching. As for how we go about this, we've got 2 main options. One is working inside of here with Claude, for instance, or ChatGPT. In this case, I'm going to be working with Claude, which is an add-in in Excel. The other method would be to work directly inside of Claude. So here we are in the Claude app and you skip Excel entirely. And I personally find this to be a better option here as it's more flexible. From here, it can generate things like PDF reports, PowerPoint slides, etc., which you can't quite do directly from inside Excel. So I've attached the 2 datasets for the World Cup matches and the country ranking, and here's going to be the first prompt for it. So I'm basically going to give it some context. I'm a data analyst, and here's the data that I'm working with. And my goal is to turn the match data into talking points. So there we've defined our goal, and we don't really want anything to be analyzed just yet. Just confirm that it's understanding what we want to do. Great, so it's confirmed that everything is set up and we're ready to work on step 2. Here we're going to be working on profiling, so that's actually trying to understand the raw data better. So things like, are there going to be any duplicates in this data set? Is the formatting consistent? Are there any missing values? All of this we're going to determine now, so it's more of a diagnostic step, and then later we're going to actually clean that up. So here's a good prompt for this part. I'm gonna say profile the dataset, don't change anything just yet. So I wanna see the rows, the columns, and each of the data types. So seeing the formatting there. If there's any missing values or NAs or not specified, any columns that are stored as text and should be a number or a date, or really anything else that looks suspicious or impossible, and end it with a list of issues that are worth fixing. And let's go ahead and run this. Before these AI tools, we would have had to go inside of Excel ourselves and try to check all of these different things. But now you can just give it a quick checklist and it's going to find out all of the different problems. Alright, here's the complete picture it's giving us. First, it's telling us all of the rows and columns on each of these different data sets. And then when we look at the data types, you can see most columns are typed sensibly and there's a few that are worth flagging. For example, here the home score and the away score are floats. That basically means that they have decimal places, but they should be whole numbers, which are integers, right? We can't really score 0.5 of a goal in soccer or football. Same thing with the offsides, you can't have 3.1 offsides. Then for the missing values, it looks like we just have the notes column that's entirely blank, and that's fine because we might just not have any notes. And then for the offsides, it looks like there's 3 that are missing. So 3 matches that have NAN, so they don't even have 0 on them. Let's have a look at that. And to see which games this is about, I'm just gonna click on this column H over here under view. I'm going to go to freeze panes and just press freeze panes again. So this is gonna freeze the left side. And if I head over to the offside area, which is this one right here, you can see that these are empty. Even though we've got zeros for some, it looks like these right here are empty. So that's something to keep in mind. In this case, hopefully this isn't too relevant for the analysis, but it's important to know that there are some missing values. Then for duplicates, there's none of them, and there's good cross-file consistency. So there's no teams that are only available in one of the 2 datasets, for instance. Then we've got something odd about the possession. So it says that it's going to over 100. In fact, when I look right here at the home possession and the away possession for this very first game, you can see that this sums up to 101. And that can make sense if we've rounded up this figure here and this other one as well. And then down on the bottom, it gives us a recommendation of the issues that are worth fixing. But everything we've done so far assumes you already have the data But in the real world, that's actually the hardest part. Luckily, Core Signal solves that. It's a B2B data provider with large-scale data sets on companies, employees, and job postings. The data is ethically collected, cleaned, and enriched with AI with more than 500 fields available per profile. Through its data search feature, you just type what you want in natural language, like SaaS companies in San Francisco with 50 to 200 employees, founded after 2015. There's zero technical setup needed to use it, and in just a few seconds, I get a structured list that I can preview, download, and even enrich with AI if I want any extra fields like their emails. And if you're more technical, you can also use Core Signal with integrations like N8N, Clay, or Zapier. So if you're interested, you can try out Core Signal for free using the link in the description below. And thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Now that we've identified the errors, we need to work on cleaning them up. So here's what I'm going to tell it to convert the attendance and the scores to integers. The dates should be data types in case we want to find like the difference between two dates or something. The possessions, just leave as is. I don't think that's that important. And same thing with the missing offside values. And then just continue the analysis with the clean dataset. So this is all set up now, and we're ready to move on to step number 4. Here we'll start actually analyzing the data, and if you don't have a specific question that you need to answer, which is our case right now, then this would be known as exploratory data analysis, where we try to spot different patterns and trends. Here I'm gonna give it a bit of a vague prompt to explore the clean data and to find 5 to 10 interesting insights. So an example could be if a country with a bad ranking beats or ties versus a country with a top ranking. Same with very high match scores, or teams that shot many times but scored very little, or teams that are very aggressive, so they've been given a lot of different cards. This is looking pretty promising. It now says it's got 10 different talking points. So number 1 is Turkey, where they shot a ton but didn't really score any goals. You can see here they had 2 matches where they dominated and still didn't win. 32 shots, 79% possession versus Paraguay, yet they lost 1-0. And same thing with the second game where they took 30 shots and they still lost 2-0. Then the highest scoring match was Germany versus Curacao. And if we go lower down, you can see that one of the dirtiest matches was the Mexico-South Africa with 3 red cards and 3 yellows and 23 fouls. Then towards the bottom, we have some of the biggest discrepancies in ranking. So you can see Ghana 73rd and beat Panama, which is about double its ranking. And South Africa at 60th in the world beat Korea, which is 25th. That said, most of the favorites over here are still doing quite well, like France and Argentina, that were near perfect. And so far, the largest crowd has consistently been in Mexico, with around 80,000 people. So once we have these data points, instead of just having them as text, we now need to find a way to communicate them properly, and that's where step 5, which is data visualization, comes handy. So I'm gonna keep this one vague and say turn these insights into charts and visuals. Of course, if you don't want all 10 of them, you can also specify that. So it's completed the visualization part, and here we have the different insights, and I think this is really where it starts to stand out compared to just using tools like Excel or PowerPoint, as I can now hover over these parts and see the results. And you can see for the total number of shots and the goals scored, some of the teams were very clinical, like this one right here, which is the Netherlands versus Sweden, where they just shot 10 times and the Netherlands scored 5 goals. Whereas down over here are some of the more wasteful ones, as you can see Turkey, as we mentioned earlier, where they shot 32 times and scored 0 goals. Down over here, we have something that's slightly different, which is the difference in ranking. So we can see here that Ghana, which is 73rd in the world, drew to England, which is 4th, hence the biggest gap here. And if I keep scrolling down, we've got for possession, where Turkey lost to Paraguay, even though they had 79% possession. And scrolling lower down, we can see the average, which was 3 goals per game, whereas Germany versus Curacao had a total of 8 goals. And even though these are nice visuals, right now they're not that easy to understand. It's not like we've got a nice title to it and maybe a narrative or a story that goes with it too. So the final step here in step 6 is to actually create a report out of this so we can share it with the on-air talent. So I'm saying to convert your findings into a PDF report, it should be more of a narrative with some key charts and recommendations for talking points. And we don't really want to show the original data set, right? We don't want to confuse the on-air talent. That part can just be overwhelming for them. Same thing with the data cleaning process. That's not really relevant. So let's ask for them not to show that. Alright, so it's finished up this report and let's have a look at it now. Here's what that looks like. We've got a few KPIs at the very start here, which can be a good way to open up the commentary by the on-air talent. And if I scroll lower down, here's the first narrative that shots don't pay the bills. So you can see here the Netherlands didn't shoot much, but they were very clinical. And then Turkey down on the bottom wasn't the case. Then in the group stage at least, some of the big countries really struggled, like was the case for England versus Ghana. That's what we're showing over here. And if I keep scrolling down, we have all of the different talking points for each part with some context on each. Then all the way on the bottom, we have some of the key headline stats that maybe we want to show on the bottom of the screen while they're speaking about it live. And keep in mind, in this case, we did this analysis for a broadcaster in the World Cup, but this same 6-step framework also applies to any other type of data analysis. That said, one part we didn't cover about Claude is being able to make interactive slides with Claude design, like this slide right over here. If you want to learn how you can make this, you should watch this video over here, or you can check out our AI for Business and Finance course over here. Hit that like and that subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.